Hey everybody, welcome back to the Print 3D channel. Today is August 23rd, and that means day 235 of the 3DP 365 project. And on today's episode, we printed out this very cool Viking Warrior, so stick around. Hey everybody, welcome back, and thank you for joining me here for day 235 of the 3DP 365 project. As always, down in the description there's a facts section. There's also the MatterHackers affiliate link. If you're in the market for some new filament, just use that MatterHackers affiliate link and you really help out the channel. On today's episode, we printed out this very cool Viking Warrior, and our print turned out awesome. I am very happy with the results. This is a super detailed model. And we actually scaled ours up to 350% of the actual size, because this is actually a tiny tabletop gaming model. And our print turned out awesome. We did use a lot of support material, and I actually did break my little cutters. I actually have them right here. I actually broke the cutters taking off the support material, and it took about 2 hours to really get all that support material off. And during that process, I nicked his elbow a little bit, but it's only a flesh wound. I think he'll survive, and it does add a little bit of battle damage to him. And the horns, because of the printing speed that I had this at, I believe I printed it out at 40 millimeters per second, they were a little bit wispy on the ends, and I ended up just pulling off a little piece there. So you can actually see down into the horn. Again, a little bit of battle damage for our little Viking Warrior. But the rest of the print turned out awesome. We used 2 different colors of MatterHackers PRO Series PLA. I used brown for the main Viking, and I used some of that jet gray for his little sword. And I printed the sword separately, obviously with the secondary color. And I printed him standing up, and you'll see that in the time-lapse in the end, because I didn't want to have any marks on the sword. I wanted all that detail to come out, and it really did a good job by printing it standing up. And what I ended up doing was using a helper disc on the bottom to keep it nice and stuck to the board so it wouldn't fall over, and I used a little bit of support material underneath the little parts of the handle of the sword. And that really helped too, keep it from falling over. So that print turned out really good. There's so much detail on here, and I'm really happy that I printed it this way. And I don't have any of the support and wrap marks on there. The Viking itself, with a ton of support, it actually turned out really good. Once I got all the support material off the front, as always, I'm always surprised to see so much detail behind there, because you really don't see it as it's printing. I mean, you can see the model in Simplify 3D, what it's going to look like, but you're never sure how that support material is going to affect underneath all that support. And actually it turned out pretty clean. Besides the little elbow mark there where I cut him, I think it's a really cool print, and it's a very clean print. There are no blobs, there are no globs, there are no layer skips. Anywhere where there's some support material, I should be able to clean it up really nicely and still keep the detail that was in the model itself. And we downloaded this model from Thingiverse. And once we had it downloaded, we sent each of the different models over to Simplify 3D for slicing. In Simplify 3D, I scaled this up to 350%, like I said, and I used a 0.2 millimeter layer height with 4 top layers, 3 bottom layers, and 3 perimeters. I also used 15% infill on this model because I wanted it to be strong, because I knew that the support material that I was adding, I'd be really pulling at the model, and I didn't want to break it because there's some intricate parts of the model and I didn't want them to break off. And this took about 9 hours to print, so this printed overnight. The sword, I printed this out at a 0.16 millimeter layer height with 3 top layers, 3 bottom layers, and 3 perimeters, and only 5% infill, because obviously it's just a little sword. You really don't need much infill in this. And I wanted this to be hollow so it wasn't shaking it so much, so it just do the layering of the exterior of the sword. And of course I did, like I said, I used a helper disc to keep this on the print bed, along with some support material. And this only took about an hour to print, so this was an easy print. And I'm really glad it printed out so nicely, because this is a really cool looking little sword that'll go with the Viking Warrior. And it just kind of snaps in here. Let's see if I can get it in here without breaking it. Just kind of snaps in place, and you have your little Viking Warrior with his sword. And I'm really happy with the print. Like I said, I think this turned out awesome. This is definitely a candidate for gMax sizing. I did take a look at this at 1000%. It'll take about 50 hours of print time and an entire roll of filament, but it'd definitely be worth it. So definitely look for that episode possibly in the future. But for now, I'm really happy with the Viking Warrior. I think it turned out awesome, and I'm definitely going to put the link down in the description so you guys can download and try and print this one yourself. And let me know on social media how your prints turn out using all that support material. I'm kind of curious because mine turned out pretty good, and I am happy with the results. Well, that about wraps it up for day 235 of the 3DP 365 project. I hope you guys found this episode interesting and informative. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, comment, like, and share those videos, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.